So we're now officially going around in circles.
I need eyes out the side of my head.
Good morning, welcome to us. Another sunny day in France. Feeling a bit better today, not quite as snotty. Been sat here for, 3 days, 4 days. Moving on today. We finally left our little beach spot and started making our way further down the French coast. We still weren't feeling amazing, so we weren't in any rush to get anywhere, which is probably just as well, getting distracted by these tiny roads. Mike didn't want to go on the motorway, so I've sent him the smallest, tiniest, windiest roads I can find. It's a really big bridge. It's huge. We stopped at a supermarket to try and find coffee, which took us forever because French supermarkets always confuse us. And then I spotted the tiniest oranges I'd ever seen in my life, right next to the biggest avocado. Then outside we spotted an oyster vending machine, which is not something you see every day. Except in this area, they're everywhere. As we were driving along, we just knew we'd been here before. It was then we realised we'd cycled through here 15 years ago. We really are retracing our steps, but this time in a van. And it's not intentional. We ended up stopping nearby for the night, surrounded by oyster farms, drainage canals and completely flat countryside. It was super windy and pretty cold as well, so we didn't hang around outside for very long. Just coming up to a road. It's a road that's only passable at low tide. We're hoping to take the car across, but I think we might have mistimed the tides. We'll go up and have a look anyway. So you can see the road goes down here and then it goes under the water a bit further out. And over there's an island you can drive to or cycle to. But we've ridden it before, but we didn't fancy waiting 12 hours for the tide, so we just moved on. I'll see if I can dig out some footage from when I cycled across there, but I know I was a little bit nervous because you've only got a half an hour each side of the high tide to get across there before it floods again. So because I haven't been feeling well, my navigation skills are off. So normally we like to take the really, really back roads. And we're just going along quite a main road then. And I saw there's a little road following the beach. So we thought we'll come and give that a go, so we'll see what that's like. We're actually looking for a lunch spot. I don't know if there's going to be anything down here. It looks more like it should be a bike track. Sometimes it's worth just following these little roads and see where they go. We took a walk down to the beach, but it was incredibly windy. So we stopped, snapped a photo, then scurried back to the van. Mike had trouble opening his door against the wind, which I thought was hilarious, until it was my turn. Oh, I can't get my clothes. Oh, shoot. Right, we're in a great little spot to stop the night, wouldn't it? But it's a bit windy and it's a bit cold. So it's worth following these little roads, I think. Just have a little ticky tour. It's kind of how we like to do it. Big apartments on one side, beach on the other, and us driving down the middle. So I was kind of wondering why Google was sending us all these little places, and then he tried to send us up a little forest road. I realised I was navigating in bike mode. The coastline was beautiful, but every now and then we'd pass giant beachfront apartment blocks and both think, yeah, nah. Not my idea of a beach holiday, but hey ho. I don't know, look at those guys on bikes with such longing. I do love the cycle touring. We have done this route all the way down to Spain and then back up again. It was a 5-month trip, that one. Because that was back in the day when we could do 5 months in Europe. So even though we're in a van, we're not going any faster than the cycle tourists. These are the guys that we overtook earlier, and they somehow got ahead of us. I want one of those cars. Oh, that's so cute, and it would fit in our garage so well.
Just put it in your backpack.
It's true. We found a free park up for the night amongst a whole lot of other vans, but it was a nice enough spot, and it was quiet. Mike's giving knitting a go. He bought this wool in Norway and a little needle. I don't know what he's making, if it's a scarf or what. Yeah, so he's going to give it a go because while I'm doing all my editing, he needs something to do. He actually looks like he knows what he's doing.
Oh, shit. No, I get all twinkled up.
To another day in France. We haven't been doing much but I'm feeling a bit better today. Mike said he woke up with a bit of a sore throat this morning, so anyway, we're moving on. we don't know really what we're doing. I think we're gonna go find a baguette and probably a toilet. Nice along here, isn't it? This is just from where we were camping, but we couldn't see it. Wet and cold to come out last night. We're on the hunt for a parking place for the night. 20 past 2. But we're tired. We're still tired. Neither of us feel great. So we want to do stuff, but we're just not ready. Not ready to do stuff yet. We're just driving, stopping, and eating in between. Sometimes if the baguette's not too chewy. We found a nice cliffside spot to camp for free for the night. And braved a walk along the windy coastline. But it was just too cold. So we snuck back to Bertie and had a steaming hot pasta and garlic bread for dinner to warm ourselves up. It's a bit of a nicer day today. Yesterday it was so cold and windy. And we're in the same spot and look at it, it's beautiful. But the rest of the morning didn't exactly go as planned. We're not far from La Rochelle. We cycled here, yeah I know I keep saying that, but we cycled here 15 years ago. We cycled down to La Rochelle and further on down. I remember it being quite a nice town, so we're going take a look today. I'm really hoping to get some more frites for lunch or dinner or something. First walk we've gotten out for really since being sick, although Mike's not feeling that great today.
So I've got to get out this parking spot. It was nice getting into it, but there's someone parked fairly close. If I swing too early, I might hit it with my bikes.
Yeah, so I'm checking, although he never listens to me. Not a problem for professional Mike. We're on the narrow streets again. We're just trying to make our way into La Rochelle, if you know, you know. Then we're going to maybe have a look around the town if we can find somewhere to park. I'm a bit naughty putting Mike on all these narrow roads, but to be fair, I don't know they're narrow until I get here.
I need eyes out the side of my head.
Yeah,
so
we're turning right here. I love those little cars. I'm taking one home. Google is sending us up one-way streets. This is getting a little bit stressful. I don't know whether it's more stressful for me or for Mike. Oh, I don't know. Far out. Just don't know what I'm doing. Turn right. So we're now officially going around in circles. We've just done this bit. My navigation game isn't on. But this time I think we're going to turn left instead of right. So we've decided to ditch La Rochelle because it's just getting too stressful. There's too much traffic. We just want to get out. It doesn't help that my Google is arguing with Mike's GPS. We are the worst tourists.
for all the tensions we had of trying to get through La Rochelle, found this lovely little spot for a little bit of lunch. Just going to get a baguette, but no. Joe saw
The quiche.
the quiche. And not just the quiche, the warm quiche. They warm it up for you.
And it had chorizo in it. It was delicious.
And also here is this old church. So we're just going to take a little look around it.
Just nice to be out of the madness of La Rochelle. Feels so calm here. We're not really sure what that sign meant, whether we were allowed down here or not, but the motorway's just there, and we didn't want to go on the motorway because, you know us, we don't want to go on the motorway. Down the coast again. Look at these cool houses. Look at them. Just love to have one of those houses overlooking the beach. It's so cool. perfect place to stop for the night and took a walk into the local town, which had restaurants overlooking the ocean. It looked like the perfect place to have our mole frita, but it was not to be. We were going to stay the night here, but we were told we can't stay the night. So we were going to come and spend our money at these restaurants, but find somewhere else. We found a spot just outside of the town, overlooking the ocean, and we're joined by a load of pop-top campervans, which are very popular in Europe. There's a motorway over there, which we're avoiding. The motorway just doesn't look very interesting. There's a massive bridge coming up, and we're going over it. We did cycle over this 15 years ago. There's no other way across. That's a pretty cool sculpture in the middle of the roundabout. A man opening an oyster, shucking it. This is an oyster region. We don't eat oysters in France. Well, I don't. I've eaten them twice in France now, and both times I got sick, so I'm not doing it a third time. We're just coming into Royan. The place was heavily bombed during the war. They've rebuilt most of it, so there's no real fancy old buildings here.
Germans came into France without destroying a building, but to get the Germans out, they had to destroy Royan.
So there's a ferry that goes across to the next bit of mainland. Otherwise you've got to do like a 3-hour detour, which will take us near Bordeaux, and we don't want to go near Bordeaux. Been there before. We don't know what time the ferries go, whether it just goes backwards and forwards. We have no idea. As usual, we don't know. I'm sure we're the only people on the road that don't know what we're doing. We'll turn up and see. It probably doesn't even run on Saturdays. So we made it to the ferry port. We just rolled up and bought our ticket. It's €50, so it's not overly cheap, but we couldn't be bothered driving all the way around or going near Bordeaux. Nothing wrong with Bordeaux. It's a beautiful city. We just don't want to go there. There are some incredibly sandy beaches along this coastline, but it's very windy. We're still looking for our mole frite, but there was no parking here. We found a beautiful free spot in the pine trees. We were allowed to park for 48 hours. This is what you do with a stale baguette. You get a knife and you saw it.
You tear it apart. And then you get a decent cup of coffee, nice and black. And you pour it into a bowl. You put it into a bowl. There's your coffee in a bowl.
This is a thing, actually. We've seen people in France do this.
And then you get your stale baguette, you dip it in your coffee, and it's nice and soft. Mmm. Coffee and baguette for breakfast.
You didn't put milk in it. You're having it black.
You have it black with this.
Okay, alright, yeah. Mike knows what he's doing.
It's like dipping your ginger biscuits in your cup of tea. You've got to get it right, not too soft, otherwise it falls off.
You're actually enjoying that, aren't you? You're actually enjoying that, aren't you? That bread hasn't gone mouldy, is it?
Oh, I didn't check that first.
Basically 3-day-old baguette. We're just taking a little drive down to Cape Ferret. Oh, look at the sand dune over there.
That's the biggest sand dune in Europe.
Well, you watch what you're doing. It's going all over the road. That's actually the biggest sand dune in Europe. We climbed that a few years ago, 15 years ago exactly, when we cycle toured down here.
Help me, dislocate.
After our visit to Cap Ferret, we headed back to our pine tree forest for another quiet night. Do I really want to get some more fruit before we leave France? And we're actually not that far from leaving France, so we need to find somewhere where we can have it. Just seen the world's tallest, not the world, Europe's tallest sand dune. No.
The largest sand dune in Europe.
Okay.
Not the tallest.
We just see, I didn't think it was that tall.
So up there behind me, lots of people up there. We went up there. Did we take a bottle of red wine up there? Oh, we drank it before we went up. Give us the energy to go. So if we did our research, we could tell you how big it is, how much sand was there, and how much it moves each year. But we didn't do our research, so we won't tell you.
We've decided this is far enough. We're both not well still. We don't want to overdo it.
Oh, then we can see a ridge up there. I'm sure when we get up there, there'll be another ridge. Then after that, another ridge, and then another one.
I'll put a photo from our cycle tour when I was at the top. We saw all these great restaurants to get Mum more fruit, but there was no parking.
Tell me, how high is your patience? Can I be saved? I wanna catch the wave.
And then we finally found what we were looking for. Finally found somewhere at the seaside that does more fruit. So we're just waiting for them. And then it was time to find somewhere to sleep for the night. It's our little parking spot for tonight, another town park and a car park, which is specifically for camping cars. Next time we continue our drive down the coast of France and the weather finally gets proper hot.